Hello, and welcome to Garage Door Politics. I'm Greg. Louis is out today. What happened this week? Another school shooting. And a lot of people are quick to point the finger at the NRA. Always. Anytime these shootings happen, the NRA gets involved. Uh, they're, they're always the culprit. Always the culprit. I have a little opinion today that I think that we're not checking into mental disease like we should. And I had pulled up a couple articles from some leading psychiatrists in this country saying that since 1980, the mental disease and mental problems have risen dramatically, citing two culprits. One is the drugs from pharmaceutical companies that have increased. The drugs have gotten more powerful, and doctors are quick. Instead of therapy, they're quick to prescribe a drug because it's easier, simpler, and plus they make money off of it. Another two, back in the 80s, we were using companies that were basically processing our foodstuffs and what like cattle, corn, soybeans, anything that is used to feed people in the United States. They're starting to find out that they were using types of what we call growth hormones in the beef and genetically modified corn, soybeans, and they're starting to come out with a study now saying that up to about the year 2000, they're seeing a dramatic increase and possibly linked to the genetically modified foodstuffs, and cattle included. Cattle, pork, all this. So, I think it's two things before we are quick to rush to blame the NRA, try to blame them for all the violence that's happening. Not even in the schools. We're talking about anywhere. Malls, office buildings, you name it. Violence is prevalent. And most of the perpetrators are between ages, I would say, 20 to 35, 40. And they fall in that category of in the 80s and 90s when they were born, growing up, eating baby food. The GMOs were in the baby food. The beef, also too, pharmaceutical companies started making the drugs stronger. And at this point in time, we have to look at everything. We can't just nail one thing on the head because that's not going to work. We need to make a point about, before we throw the blame at any one thing, we need to do studies on this, and we need to find out exactly what is going on. And I believe a lot of this is mental, because we've had firearms all through our history of our country, but we've never had an outbreak of violence like now. And a lot of people want to blame the video games. A lot of people want to blame, society as a whole. Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, all these different types of applications. It's easier now to get information than it ever was before. Your video games are more violent now. There was a statistic I heard today that 95% of the teenagers and young adults play video games, and 85% of them play violent video games. So as a society, we're going to have to take a step back. We're going to have to look at everything. You can't just rush to judgment. It's the guns. It's the guns. It's the guns. It's got to be a study looked at. Well, anyway, that's my opinion on the abbreviated garage door politics. I apologize. Louis is under the weather today. Couldn't be here, but we'll hope Louis gets better for the next telecast. Anyway, that's my opinion about the, I am so sorry about what happened in Texas, Santa Fe High School. But from what all accounts I can see is the young gentleman that committed this heinous act might have been bullied at one point or so in his high school days, because that's what a lot of the information now is starting to come out. So that's another thing we have to look at too, bullying in school. You got your social media. We've got to take a look at everything. You can't just throw a dart and stick it in one spot. Everything has to be looked at. So I hope our leaders get down to that and go in that direction, because we're too quick to judge right away. So I believe that's what we need to do. So at this point in time, I want to wish everybody a great day, and go Golden Knights. And our hockey team's doing very well here in Vegas, and we're all very, very happy at that accomplishment. And I want to leave you with a little something. Have a good day.